Right, that was the last practice in pads. I think they were glad when it was over. They did a nice job. Again, the accommodations have been great. This hotel has been great, and Celebration High School has been great. The guys have responded well to what we've been asking them to do practice-wise. It is kind of a repeat of what we did before we left town. We did a Tuesday practice, a Wednesday practice. We did a Thursday practice. We'll do one tomorrow like it's Thursday. So hopefully it's ingrained enough where when the heat comes and the emotions change, die down, ramp up, whatever, that they'll still, be able to know what to do because of the habits they've created. So I'll open it up for whoever's got a question.
Do you guys feel like on offense you're good, I guess, at slowing it down, pounding it? There's a lot of kind of back and forth stuff that they're used to in the Big 12. Do you feel like you could kind of challenge them?
I think we're versatile enough to do that, kind of choose what we want to do. I hope we will be when we play. It'll be important to be able to run the ball well. And sometimes it's important to go with pace, and sometimes it's important to slow it down. So what we have been able to do in a lot of games is at the end of the game, slow it down, run the ball, and most times get some more points on the board. Not only we eating up clock, but a lot of times we've gotten a touchdown run out of it. And so that there's times when you absolutely want to slow the game down and chew up clock and hopefully still put more points on the board. I guess it was NC State in particular. I think we're up by 7. Want to slow the game down. We knew at worst if we punt, we're still up by 7. But if we got even a field goal on top of it, by the time we got down in the red zone, it'd be tough to score twice. I think with 2-3 minutes to go. So it's important to be able to do both.
It's not necessarily related to the game, but what do you do at fullback next year?
It's hard to say. With Marquez Williams, he was a guy we just happened to know and knew that he was a mid-year transfer, and he was perfect. You can't draw him up better than him as far as what we're looking for. But a lot of times over the years, linebackers have been that. Sometimes smaller guards have been that. Sometimes even high school defensive, like a nose guard, he's a terror, but he's 5'11". He's kicking butt, in high school, but maybe he's not quite long enough to be a nose guard in college. And those types of guys can end up being it. So we're on the lookout, and there may be somebody within our building who could be that, because obviously Chickalo is a senior; he'll be going as well.
Would you like to get most of the seniors in the game, or a good amount? I would love that.
I would love that. But that can't be. It hasn't entered my mind until you said it. I hope we're in position to do that, but I'm not by any means predicting that. We're just gonna. It's a battle royal. We just got to play whoever we think is best, and if it happens to be a senior, great.
And that's the same thing with the young kids that maybe getting them a little experience.
Yes, we're like any other game. We're trying like mad to win it. We're playing the guys. We have first teamers because we think they're first team, second teamers because we think they're the next best. And those are the guys that are going to play mostly in the game. And that's if we come out with a 1-point victory, I'm thrilled to death.
With bowl games, obviously it's not a conference game. They're important. I'm not saying that they're not, but are they a little bit different play calling? Like, might you just kind of say, all right, I'll go with something that's a little bit off the beaten path with your
Not really. If I think going off the beaten path will help win the game, I'll do it. But I don't want to do anything unless I think it'll help us win the game. There's been a lot invested in this game. And I'm talking about just from the time the season ended until today. There's been 11 or 12 practices. That's a lot of work. There's been a lot of film study. There's been a lot of lifting and running and sprints after practice. We've been trying to pay a price to be in position to win a game. That's really what it's all about. That's the purpose of this trip, is to go win a football game. Secondary is, have fun while you're at it. And I mean, I've always believed you can do both if you go to bed on time, you know.
Mark, you're no stranger to having players with decisions to make about their future during bowl games. I think when you were here with Georgia in '08, Matthew Stafford
Sure.
faced a similar situation as Brad. Philosophically, how do you advise these guys?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
as
my
they're trying to
goal,
make it.
yeah, my goal is always to give them as much NFL information as possible, either through the committee that does the evaluating, or, I mean, I've made a lot of contacts over the years in the NFL. There's a lot of guys I've coached that are scouts. There's a lot of guys that I know that I've maybe coached with that are, you know, part of the scouting or GMs and all that kind of thing. And you meet head coaches over the years. They come and try out your players, and so after a while you get to know a lot of those guys, and you know, you can ask them to give you a good feel for what do they think of these guys, and that's the information I want them to have. I don't want them to make a decision based on emotion, based on what somebody in the media said they were going to be selected as by an agent who might say, you know, hey, if you come with me, I can do this for you. Or even coming from me saying, hey, you know, here's some of the benefits of staying, and here's, I mean, my goal is to educate them the best I can, and then allow them to, you know, think it through, pray it through, and do what they think is in their best interest.
As a head coach, like if they come back with a grade that's third round or lower,
Yeah.
would you advise them, you know, third round, I'm not sure, you might benefit coming back?
Well, there's slots. Okay?
Right.
There's historical data that says if you're slotted mid-third compared to mid-second, here's the difference. If you're slotted mid-second to mid-first, here's the difference. Mid-second to mid-first could be $10 million, a difference of guaranteed money of $10 million. That's significant. So if you're, you know, right around in that general area, second, third round pick, and you have a chance to improve and move up into the first round the next season, that might be worthy of consideration. But there's other things like getting your degree before you leave, trying to win a championship, you know, trying to, you know, play the game, you know, maybe just mature more as a guy, as a man, you know. There's been a couple guys over the years I'm like, you, in my opinion, are ready enough to make a team and play in the NFL, but I'm not sure you're mature enough to handle the money and the fame and all that. I think you need to grow up. And I'll tell them that if I think that. Or, you know, when I spoke to Stafford, I'm like, Matt, there's not one thing that you could do to improve your draft status. You're going to be the first pick of the draft, probably. A.J. Green, most people say you're going to be the first receiver taken in the draft. No Sean Moreno, Todd Gurley. Everybody tells me you're going to be the first pick of the draft at your position. You know, so if you stay, it's because you might want to win the Heisman, or you might want to try to win a national championship, or like you say, get your degree before you leave, and all those kind of things. So, but there's no business decision here where you could improve your status. You know, so we'll talk real frank about all that stuff.
What do you think is unique about Brad Kite? I know you just mentioned a bunch of those athletes, but this is a kid in his third year.
For me, just coaching QBs, he's got the best peripheral vision I've been around, and the ability to recall what happened. I mean, I can ask him what he saw, and to me, it's amazing what he'll see and why he did what he did. I mean, there's been times where I thought I saw this, and I thought he really was going to the wrong spot. That's why I ask guys, what did you see and why did you do what you did, rather than, hey, you should have done this or you should have done that. Because he's got rules. He's got reads and progressions and reasons why he goes on this side of the field or go to that side of the field. And he'll see some things that I didn't notice maybe as it was happening. And but then you'll turn on the tape and say, okay, I see why you did that. I mean, he's not always right, you know what I'm saying, but he can tell you what he saw, and his what he sees is more than just this little tunnel vision. It's very broad, and his vision, I think, is really special.
All right, last question, guys.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead. You're right. All right.
Go ahead, Susan.
Can she
So,
go after?
yeah,
me?
you got it. You
Okay.
got some.
All right, I just want to ask, what Brad's meant to this program. Yeah.
Well, to this point, Brad has been nothing but the starting quarterback since the day he walked on campus. So there's a big responsibility. He's been a tremendous leader and the face of this program. His picture's all over everything that you can put your guy's picture on or his image on, and it's mainly because of how well he plays on the field, but also how he represents the university. He's a good kid.
Having said that, why won't we be able to ask him some questions here in Orlando?
Yeah, because he really has wanted to focus on the game, and I think everybody wants to ask him about other things, and he doesn't really want to talk about it right now. That's the main reason.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks, Mark.
You got it.
Thank you.
You got it.
Okay.